And there is not a day that goes by that I don't think of him.
Todd Chrisley is speaking out about the loss of his daughter, Savannah's ex-fiancé, Nic Kerdiles, almost 2 years after his passing. Nic died in September of 2023 following a Nashville motorcycle accident at just 29 years old. Speaking on an August 20th episode of the Chrisley Confessions 2.0 podcast, Todd says,
Nic Kerdiles was one of the finest, funniest, kindest young men. And I so wanted he and Savannah to be married. I wanted grandchildren. And that didn't come to pass. But even when they broke up, I still had lunch with Nic. I still talked to Nic every day. We text 1 million times a day.
Revealing how he found out about Nic's death, the Chrisley Knows Best star says,
and I remember the day that I walked into the VR, the visitation room. Savannah had her back turned. So when I walked in, all I saw was her back with her and she and Grayson and Chloe. And I said, hey. And Chloe ran to me and was crying. I said, what's wrong? And Savannah turned around and I said, what's wrong? And she fell into my arms and she said, he's gone. I said, who's gone? Because all I could think of was Chase. And I said, who's gone? And she said, Nic. And I remember just crumbling.
As for why he hasn't spoken out till now, Todd says,
because it is still very fresh to me. My heart has not healed, and I don't know that it ever will heal. And I don't feel like I owe that to you. I don't feel like I owe it to anyone. But out of respect for the love that we have for him, I will tell you it was the hardest thing that I have ever dealt with in my life.
And for how he dealt with the loss while in prison, he says,
and we cried that whole visitation. And I went back to my room, and my friend Melvin Williams, who worked with me in the chapel, he said, what's wrong? And I told him, and he knew how much I loved Nic. And do you know that every night when I went to sleep, that Melvin got off of his bunk and kneeled at my bed and put his hand on my bed and prayed over his rosary for me and our family. Nic was my friend. He was my buddy. He was another son to me. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't think of him.